how's that going? Testing, testing. Okay, I'm gonna switch to Streamlabs. Okay, how's that working? Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, that seems to be better. Awesome. Okay, let's actually get the screens up. I'm just gonna. Sorry about this. It's the first time running this setup exactly. Okay, that seems to be working okay. Okay. Sentinel Comics role-playing game. Awesome. So, I'm not obviously going to go into all the mechanics of the role-playing game right now. So, if I switch to page 2 of the page of the... Actually, maximize this one. So, in the game, you have powers, qualities, and your status. These will all be random dice. These will all be dice slices between D4 and D12. When you roll for an ability, you will roll a power, a quality, and your current status, which is determined by either your health or the same status, and usually take the middle result. Obviously, some abilities can mess with that. Also, the abilities you have access to depends on the status. So when you are in green status, you have access to your green abilities. When you're in yellow status, you have access to your yellow and green abilities. And when you're in a red status, you have access to all your abilities. If you're unconscious, you have an out ability. Okay, that's all we're getting into for the ability. That's all we're getting into for actual gameplay. I might at some point do a gameplay video or stream, but that's pretty much the main thing. Oh, yeah, we'll get into that later. Okay, so I will just put this back over here. So we are going to be creating a character. So I'm just going to go to here, creating heroes. So there's two ways to build, which is you can roll dice, get a random character, and get random characters. You still make a lot of choices, but essentially your stuff is random. To give you an example, rolling for your first thing, which will be your background. You roll 2d10, and then you can take either one die, the other die, or both dice combined. So if you were to roll, say, a 2 and a 7, you could go blank slate, you could go academic, or performer. Not complicated. The way we're going to be doing this, because obviously I have a certain character in mind, we are going to be using the guided method. We're going to be using the other method, which is in the game referred to as the constructed method. I simply choose. There is a secret save method where I can do what I want, but I'm going to be going within the framework of the game, so we're going to be following the rules as such. Only I'm going to, instead of rolling dice to get random results, I'm going to be picking my results. So first thing we need is a background. So if we head to our background chart here, we'll just maximize this. So obviously our target today is Superman, so we're going to have a look at what our abilities are. So obviously a lot of these are straight out the window. Like, we know he's not a blank slate. Tragic is possibly in there, but not that much. Anachronistic is out the window. Exile, maybe. So otherworldly is probably our best bet. Let's have a look. Military, he's not military, he's not retired, he's not a former criminal, he's not anachronistic, which basically means he's lost out of time. Exile's possible, Interstellar's possible, but I think, yeah, Interstellar I think is our best bet. But let's have a look at some of these others. So, okay. Nope. He's not a member of law enforcement. He's not an academic. No, as much as the loss of Krypton was a tragedy, it didn't define his life for him. He's not a performer. He's not military. He's not retired. He's not a criminal. Not medical. He's not anachronistic. It could be an exile. I'm actually leaning more towards exile. Let's have a look at otherworldly. No. Interstellar. No, I think exile is the way we go with this. So let's head to... Oh, this is not great. Exile. Background is exile. Oh, let's start the physical attributes quickly while we're doing. Age, gender is male. Age is adult. We can't get more of that, but adult fits nicely. Height is tall. Oh, his eyes blue? I think his eyes are blue normally. Yeah, let's look that up. Superman eye colour. Blue, yeah. It makes sense. He's Boy Scout. Eyes blue. Hair black. I seem to have lost the sound. Why? Oh, did I? Yeah, that would do it. Hair black, skin. Tan. Build, muscular. Costume, equipment, cape. Okay, so let's have a look what exile gives us. So first off, we have to assign a D10 and D8 to two of these qualities, which is conviction, insight, or information. So let's head back up to look at qualities. So we can look at information qualities. It doesn't have a lot of that. So okay. So this makes it nice and easy. We're going to give him a D10 in insight. Then we're going to give him a D10 in conviction, because Superman is nothing without his convictions. And we're going to give him a D8 in insight. He also gets an ideals principle. No, that's not even a question, I think. Yeah. Principle of great power. So principles give him an overcome ability. Nope. Oh, no. No. Go for principle of hero, actually. Overcomes are basically what we have instead of skill tests. So it also gives us some role-playing prompts as well as some twist prompts. And these are twists are something you can take when you fail instead of in order to succeed, but something has gone wrong. So we're going over the basic ones for this because these both fit Superman. So during role playing, because of his abilities, he has a calling to protect people. That is just Superman. He feels he needs to protect and save people because he is so much more powerful than everyone else. Your minor twist prompt is you immediately need to help someone causing you to drop the ball in your personal life. What was it? How many times has he dropped dates, missed deadlines, whatever, because he's too busy saving the world? And major twist, you're giving your ultimatum in your life as a hero and something else you value. What do you give up? Again, it is a common thing that Superman is given a choice between his powers or his friends. And it is a thing that Superman gets a lot. Obviously, these are not the only twists he could get. There are the DM or the player could come up with anything related to being a hero, like this that they want, as well as anything based on the scene or other stuff that's going on. It can get a little while, but these are good jumping off points. Anyway, let's head back. So we've got our background. Let's switch back to this. So we have Exile. He rolls 3d8 for his next, which is actually interesting. He's going to be slightly weaker than Superman normally would be. But again, this isn't going to be a perfect Superman. This is going to be what I'm building. This is also not the only way to build Superman. There are a lot of ways you could do this. So we have power source. So genetic, alien, genetic or alien. Let's have a look at what we've got. Genetic is signature weapon, strength, vitality, intellectual property. Yeah, I think genetic is how we do this. So let's close down the bookmarks and get back to this. So we have the 3 dice we rolled for this, which is 3d8s. First off, we're going to give him flight. Flight at d8, because why not? Strength at d8. And let's have a look at the intellectual powers category. Intuition, presence. Presence would actually work. People know when Superman's arrived on a scene. Oh, let's go back up to fill in this. There's genetic. And we also then have to pick 3 ability, two yellow and 1 green ability. So let's go with adaptive for the first one. So he boosts himself using a power. So we have flight, strength, and presence. Let's go with presence for that. This is an active ability. And this is boost and recover. Oh, this changes to an O. This needs to be an O actually. I don't know why I put an A there. This is the A. And we get to name this now. Actually, we're going to change that to flight. Because I've just realised what this ability is. Solar recharge. Fly up to the sun. Charge up. Come down. Awesome. Next is... don't want to go in danger zones. So we're going to go with area assault. Now, obviously this isn't going to be like I say, this is obviously not going to be full power Superman. The full power Superman is just insane. Let's be honest, and not fair in this in an RPG. Oh no. There we go. And then we get one of these. Let's go with this one. We've already got boost ability. Let's give him some leadership presence, shall we? So we're going to, this one's going to be his conviction. So what do we call this? Oh, you know what I haven't done yet? Ooh-doo. Okay, that's better. What do we call this? Is there anybody actually in chat at the moment? Nope. Okay. Don't want to call it. No, I don't want to call it that because he only does that once. Let's just call it rousing. Let's just call it rousing punch. He gets D10 and 2d8 for his archetype selection. So archetypes. So that, again, normally you'd roll d10 and 2d8 to get this, but we are picking ourselves. Fire, no. Physical powerhouse, maybe. Could up his strength to a d10. Yeah, let's go physical powers. So we've got a d10 and 2 more d8s to assign. Vitality. Yeah, I don't see how we get it is. Anything with physical qualities or social qualities? The physical qualities. Let's go fitness. I don't want to just go for close combat because that just feels cheap at this point. And leadership. Okay. Okay. Okay, so again we go with damage resistant, which is an innate skill. And will reduce the damage he takes as he's fighting. I've been after there. So it reduces his physical or energy damage takes by 1 in green, 2 in yellow, and 3 in the red. Other one. This is tricky. I think I know though. Okay. So we're going with Galvanize. This is a boost. And this is going to be... Nah, it's just rousing speech. And then finally, so this is one of the things we spoke about earlier, where you'd use a different die other than your mid die. Also, the Sonic Clap does the same thing. This allows you to use your max die instead. Okay. We also get a new principle, which is an expertise principle. I think principle and leadership shortfall fits this one well. Ooh, no strength. Oh. Mm. I don't like having to make these sorts of choices. So, what goes wrong with your defences? What gets hurt as a result of you not being it? Who gets hurt other than you? Again, that's pretty good, but the strength is also. Superman has to keep his strength under control all the time. To the Discord. No. Yes, maybe. It's a tough choice. And honestly, I'd love to take both. I really would. But this is. Oh. No, he's pretty good at keeping his strength under control. We're going to go with Principled Indestructible. Someone else did just say Principled Defender. We can change it, obviously. We can change that later. But we are going through process, and I had to make this choice. Let's head back. So, personality type. Natural leader. I think natural leader's way it goes with this. Yeah. Oh yeah, we forgot to put in the archetype. It does set its status die as 6, 8, and 10. We also have to get. We also give him a D8 quality, a D8 role-playing quality. And now I pick 2 red abilities. Does have materials. Does have social qualities. Yep, that's what I want. Conviction social. So it's mental. Let's head back to red abilities. I want to have a look at yes, that's what I want. Sorry, I've been sitting here waiting all day for that reference. It doesn't actually have any physical quality. Oh, it does have fitness. I do like to do 1 power though. It only really has physical powers and mobility powers. It doesn't have any reactions, so I don't want that. I think, yeah, we go with this one. So okay, so we are nearly done with Superman. So let's head down here. So now we've got a retcon. So change principle. I can swap any 2 dice with my powers, any 2 dice with my qualities. I'm pretty happy with my dice where they are though. I would like to boost a die. I am going to add a D6 power, I think I can add. I'm going to add a D6 power or quality. We need to add fire at D6 to represent his laser eyes, because that is like one of his most useful powers. Where are we? No, get add energy. We call that energy. No, we don't have it. No, energy's not a lasting power. Yeah, I think fire. No, we just add fire. So represent his laser eyes. Okay. Oh, we've got to change this. We'll just make that leadership. Even if he's not able to compete in the scene, he's still able to shout inspiring stuff to his friends. Okay. Next up is health. So 8 plus 10, so 18. Psychic powers do 10, so 28, and a 4, so 32. So 32 to 25, 24 to 12, and 11 to 1. Current 32. And we're all done. So finishing touches is we get to name all our abilities and that, which we've already been doing. But yeah, and we are very nearly done. We have one more thing to do. And here's one I got earlier. And there he is. So I'll just name this Superman. And I will be back momentarily. So I'm back. I'm just going to double check. Nope, no one answered. Okay. Back to them. So we have our hero. We'll be uploading this to Google Drive and posting a link to the character sheet in the description. But we have a hero. But we can't leave a hero without a villain. Let's make a villain for him. And obviously, when you're thinking Superman, when you're thinking Superman villains, there's only really one choice. So let's get a picture of him. Specifies PNG because I know how this goes. This one. So let's go back to how do we make a villain. So villains, instead of background archetype, and all that, and power source, we instead have an approach and an archetype. So what's our approach? Yeah, let's be honest, there's only one approach for Lex. Mastermind. So he has D12, D10, and D8 powers. So we're going to go back up to the power. I'm just going to set those die sizes now. Let's just maximize this out so we can actually see what we're doing. Okay. Head over to this one. And head up to the power and qualities list. But this is powers in particular. Let's go with deduction at D10 at D12. So do we go with deduction? Yeah, let's go with deduction at D12. Lex is pretty smart. D10 will give him his power suit at D10 and D8 D8 will give him inventions. Okay. Let's go back. There's approach. He gets D10, 4 D8 qualities. 1 D10 quality, 1 and 4 D8 qualities. As well as a role-playing quality. So D10, yeah, D10 he's gonna get conviction again. Both Lex and Superman have conviction in their beliefs. There's 4 D8s. Technology. Science. Is it business quality? No. Persuasion? No, he's very persuasive when he wants to be. And final one. Again, science. Awareness. For his role-playing quality, smartest man alive. So ignore the status minions bit, that is completely irrelevant and will be changed in a moment. So other things he gets though. How many abilities does he get? 2. It also gives him 20 base health. So let's make a note of that in health. Oh shoot, did I forget to put my microphone back on? No? Why am I? Oh, because yeah. I keep forgetting. I'm getting it through that. Okay. Am I back to listening to myself now? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so back to Lex. So exploit weakness. Ooh, what do we call this? Just automatic weapon. It's an attack hinder. No wait. So hinder boost. Okay. So archetypes. So what does he have? He's not a bruiser. He can fight. He doesn't get a bonus for being a domain. He's not formidable. He's not fragile. He's not gorilla. Not indomitable. I think, inhibitor or inventor is I think the way he goes. The other squad. Sentinel. Think. Let's have a look at the difference. Lex doesn't normally create. It does, but only for Superman. Yeah, Lex does like to create his stuff. Let's go with the inventor then. So this also determines his status. Dice, so. So if he has 4+ boosts, from his inventions, he has a D10, a D12, 2 to 3 is a D10, and we have D10. And he has D8, and if he has none, he has a D6. Okay, I don't like how that's not shown there, but hopefully when I upload it to Thingy it will sort itself out. Nope, wrong button. Let's go through an extra +10 to his health as well. Let's add that on here, so now on 30. And he gets 2 abilities. So this is a boost, hinder, and attack. And then we get another 1 ability. Oop, wrong window. I'm gonna murder myself in a minute. Let's go with this one. So now we've done that bit, we get our upgrades. So power dampening field. No, I don't like that. I think I know what we go with. Let's go with power upgrade. We're going to go with he also gets an ability from his archetype. Because he already has a power at D12, which is his deduction. Okay. This also gives him some extra HP as well. Extra 20 HP when these upgrades are used. So upgrades are ways to give more challenge to a villain, is the thing. They're not always there, but I like to design villains with the upgrades in mind. So obviously we're taking when he fuses with Brainiac in the Justice League cartoon. They don't always have to be used, but yeah. So I don't know which one of these to go with for Lex. I think Master of Mad Science would do it. As long as he has access to technology, he can create whatever he needs to succeed. Nope. Can you tell I'm used to doing this with putting the thing in a browser. Okay. I'm not 100% happy with Lex, I'll be honest. But yeah, for something I've thrown together in how long have we been streaming now? An hour. I'm quite happy. So another thing about heroes is that they get the other thing about villains, sorry, not heroes, is that they also get 5 additional HP for every hero in their scene. So his base HP is 30, his minimum HP is going to be 35 if he's running against one hero, and increases exponentially. So, and then we have, obviously, if you go with the upgrade, he also gets an extra 20 HP. So, yeah. Like I say, I don't think I'm 100% happy with this. I might have to revisit this in the future. But I do, yeah. But it is good enough for 1:30 in the morning, can we be honest? So I'm going to save this. I will upload both of these to Google Drive and leave links to them in the description of the video. I know no one's probably watching. If you are watching, thanks for watching. If not, yeah. But yeah, obviously, hopefully you're watching sooner or later. Okay, there's absolutely nothing